Hello, hello, easy in the shed. Nice brew. What could be better? Nothing. Oh, blimey, Charlie. Finger hurts like billy-o. That's a good word, isn't it? Right, I'm in the shed. Hopefully my finger will loosen up a little bit once I give it a bit of blasting. Here we are so far. I've had the barrel on and I've taken it off again because I will explain. Yeah, fits beautifully. Rings all fit lovely. I've checked the clearance between the ends of the rings just in the barrel on their own, so that's absolutely 100%. What I'm not happy with is the stiffness of this, madam. Now, when I installed, obviously when how do I put this? I should have used the right puller to pull these parts into that housing and into that housing there. I used Timmy mallet somewhere, wherever it is, just gently tapping on the end of that flat surface, like so, just getting it in there and all the rest of it. Now, what I've completely forgotten about was that isn't a straight shaft, is it? It's offset in there, like so. You see, down in there, there's a gap. So there's no spindle right in the centre, obviously, because it wouldn't work otherwise. So all the knocking comes through this, and it comes in here, knocks across there, and transfers into there. So there is a chance that you sort of misalign something, or it's not in properly. What I should have done, rotating this, is I should have put a piece of something in that gap there, so it's a nice tight fit. So then when you're hitting, you're not only hitting on that side, you're also hitting on that side, so you're transferring it evenly through. Makes sense, doesn't it, in a strange sort of way. So I am going to remove the little C-clips that hold the cotter pin in on the piston, get the piston out of the way, which is a real shame because I didn't really want to disturb them. They're sort of once use only sort of thing, aren't they, really? And then I'm going to try and tap something into that wedge, that hole, that gap in the crankshaft, and do a bit more tapping, because I'm sure that one of the bearings isn't, it's only a micron, but it's not sat in properly, if you see what I mean. Therefore it's pinching, something's pinching in there. So it's not right. There's no point in me rebuilding the engine, putting it all back together, having a stiff shaft, is there? Because it just wouldn't work. Finnar. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next sort of half an hour, and I'll let you know what the results are when I'm finished. Right, burger, yes. Front brake caliper, fantastic now, works beautifully now. I've put the pads in the right way around. I'm sure we've all done it, don't mock. I think it was because I was busy filming and not concentrating on what I was doing, so there we are. Anyway, that's that. You're making a horrible noise when you put the front brake on. Grr, grr. That would have been a bad Aruga moment for sure. Anyway, news update. The rear tyre on that is squared off. You know, it's the first time I've noticed it, but I did know, because the roads around here out in countryside are all slippery, greasy, muddy, cowpatty, all the rest of it, mixed in with the salt and the moisture on the roads, which they just don't dry up because we've had no wind really, apart from me. I've had lots of wind. Yeah, it's very slippery. I had to put my foot down. One instance, going around a corner at walking pace, and the burger's a heavy little beastie. And again, accelerating out of the village Wednesday, I was at an angle, which is nice, going around a left-hander, and the back just felt like I was riding on marbles. Bearings are fine, so that's not an issue. When I looked at the tyre when I got to work, it was proper squared off. So instead of having a nice patch of rubber in contact with the road, when you're going around the corner, you've got like you're on the pinnacle of that ridge, that angle. So you've only got like that much rubber. No wonder the thing was squirming around everywhere. So I've bought some anals. They're coming. They're en route. So I'm going to do both of those wheels. When I have them out, I'm going to do the bearings. I am going to paint the alloy wheels a colour. The colour has turned up this morning. and it's not a cheap colour. It was £79 worth of colour, enough to do the 2 wheels, and then put the new rubber on once I've painted them. So therefore Berger will be off the road. So that means I can't ride the RS to work because it's still spluttering mid-range. So that needs to be done. Why don't you just do it easy? Just because, alright? The only bike I've got that's going is the FZ50. So I'm going to get that motted, and I'm going to ride the FZ to work. Yes! I'm really looking forward to that in a slow, safe kind of way. But there we are. Right, that's updates out of the way. I need to crack on with this engine because it's not right. Okay, let me do my stuff and bodge it some more. Brew. Right, after a colossal amount of banging, I've realised what I've done. Actually, it's nothing to do with the way I've installed the crankshaft, although that wasn't the best way to go around things. So if you can put something over here and then do the nut up to pull this through into here, and the same that sort of sign. If you can do that, do it, because I've done it the Heath Robinson way. I've gotten away with it. That's good. The thing I haven't done right is, do you remember that little oil seal? I've got to tap it in 3mm. Well, that's not 3mm. It's in too far by about that much. So therefore, the rubber part of that seal is acting as a brake on the crankshaft itself, and I can feel that now. I rotate it. Now I'm rotating. I can feel that it's constant, and it feels like a rubber brake on. You can just feel it. Stupid me. So that means I've got to unbolt it all again, split the crank, tap this back off of there, and then just tap that seal just back out a smidge, and then put it all back together, and it should rotate rather freely. So yeah, that's pretty good. Schoolboy error. Measure twice, install once, I think. So there, here we go. Easy mess up again. Right, let me crack on. I'm happy I found what it is. Right, well, I think I've been a bit hard on myself. Yeah, it's a lot better now. It's a lot freer. It's not super duper free, which is brilliant, because otherwise the seals wouldn't be doing their thing. But yeah, it's a lot freer than what it was. I can't tell you what it was because I don't really know. I've bought that out a couple of mil, so that's about 3mm from the top. I went from 3mm from the chamfered edge down the bottom there in, but I don't think that made an awful lot of difference, to be fair. I don't know. I mean, it still feels like there's like a rubber brake on, but like I say, brand new seals, so it's going to be a little bit on the grippy side until that lubrication starts flowing and things start banging and all the rest of it. So I'm going to pop that piston back in, I'm going to put the barrel back on, I'm going to put the head on, and we're starting to get there, aren't we? Oil pump, that needs to go in. Yeah, cracking on really. Brew's gone, need another one. I don't know, fingers loosening up a little bit, which is nice. Woo! Hi ho! Right, we have got piston on, in, barrel on. Lovely, goes up and down really nicely. Sounds good. Now, can you see my problem? Give you a few seconds. Have you spotted it? No, nor did I till now. These head bolts are M6s, or 6mm, which go down quite lovely into the engine, but they won't go through the holes on the gasket. They are too bloody tiny. Now I can't remember, because my stupid head, whether that was the one from the new piston kit, or whether that one, oh no, that came out of the gasket kit. So that is wrong. The one that come with the piston kit, I don't know where it is, and I'm flipping biting myself, I tell you, because I've been through literally everywhere, but it's been a bit of a hurried sort of, it's been a man look, so it's probably right in front of my nose. We know what we're talking about, guys, don't we? And you ladies, you know what we're on about? Man, look, you go and look for something, you can't find it, Mrs. comes in, well, what's that then? Oh, for goodness sake, it's right there. So I need to spend some flipping time that I haven't got to find a gasket, the head gasket, with hopefully bigger holes in it. I don't want to try and modify that one with my big stamps which cut out holes, because it's going to bend it and fold it and crease it, and it's going to be horrible, isn't it? You can't drill that kind of thing, it will just twist up in the end of the drill bit. Bugger. I want to get this engine back together today, and there's no time for faffing around looking for stuff. Right, I'm going to have a look number 2 now, a lady's look. Isn't that right, girls? Flipping heck. Well, I've wasted far too much time, enough by half. How does that work out? I don't know. But I have found a solution. I did find a gasket in the last place to look, and the stud holes line up and everything, but that is for the FZ50. So I have no idea where that gasket is. I really don't, but I've gotten over it. So look, see what I've managed to achieve. So if you're really absolutely in the shite about something and you really just can't get over it, what I've done is I've got myself a M6 drill. I may add a very blunt M6 drill, okay, and I'm reverse drilling. I'm going the wrong way. So we take our very tight hole, put it on a nice piece of teak, reverse drill with lots of pressure, full speed. Oh shit, that's the other way. Okay, let's just do the last one whilst I'm here. Different hole each time, so it keeps the integrity of the gasket. That's it. The job's a good one. Look at that. Can't grumble at that, can we? Spotty dog. So there we go. Moment of truth. Ho 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 ho. Oh yes, madam. So there's always more than one way to prickle a hedgehog or something. I don't know. Whew, I get out of jail free there, isn't it? That's an awooga. Shall I? Oh, go on then. Let's have a quick one. Oh, flipping heck. Got to stop doing that. Oh, I thought I was in the shyster there, but you know, 20 minutes looking for something is an hour and 40 minutes lost doing something, isn't it? Because you're going back. Work it out. Okay, right, let me crack on. Got to get that barrel on, bolts in. Yeah, and start getting the oil pump sorted out and all the rest of it. And I can put all the gears back in here, whack it back together and get this off my flipping workspace. Oh, baby. I'm happy, I'm smiling, and I'll tell you for why. Not because I've got the starter motor back on and the head bolted down. 8 to 10 Newton meters is pretty much across the board. All these different bolts, the bolts that held the two crank cases together, 8 to 10 Newton meters. So I've gone for 9, just to be on the safe side. Thus, right, okay, I've got the reeds in again, I've got them bolted down. And I had to use Mr. Flexi Drive for those two back ones, because as you can see, you can't get a spanner down there, so I had to get the Flexi in there and like so that's all good. 8 to 10 Newton meters, sir, it's all good. Do you remember this part? It was in one of my early videos. I said, do you know where this goes, chaps? Any idea where this goes? It's rubberized on the inside and it feels like it's brand flipping new. That's the quality of rubber we got going on here. I can't remember taking it off, but then again I can't remember anything when I stripped this engine down, because I was a bit too lally, wasn't I? Oh, fingers getting better. That's good. So putting this back together, it's like someone's given me a box of bits and said put that back together. So I'm basically starting from scratch. And when I've got all these little brackety things, and what do you call it, some cable holders and all these sort of things, I'm going to refer to the Bible Unfortunately, the Bible doesn't show anything about what this is for. But I've just been sitting here, I've been looking in there, and I came across this little bit here. And I thought, you know what, that sort of looks like, because you've got the slots there, and if you look at it inside, you've got like a stop at the end. So I thought to myself, do you know what, I reckon that goes over there, like so. And it jolly well does. No idea what it's doing, but it's doing it. So I've got that in the right place, I think. I've yet to plastic dip my little bracketry bits to stop them corroding, and so they're sort of insulated, you know, between what they're sort of holding in, sort of thing. I've got the powder somewhere. I'll be doing that shortly. I think you just basically put your P pliers on there or something, heat this up dramatically, and then dip it into the powder, swirl it around, and then it should all be really nice, but we'll see. I guess it has to be meticulously clean, otherwise it won't work. But anyway, we're getting there. Coincidentally, this book, the Bible, doesn't. It's the American import version. Well, it's the American version, and it doesn't have a kickstart. There's a kickstart hole for the mechanism, wherever it is. It's under there somewhere. There it is at the back there. And on the booklet, it just shows, yeah, there's a the variator, and there's the drive. And at nowhere does it say about, it doesn't show it anywhere at all in this book. So there we are. That's what I'm kind of up against. So I've just spent like a good, I don't know, 30 minutes just going through the pages. Again, that doesn't show it. Going through the pages, just making sure I've got the right washers, all the little springy knickknacks and everything, because I want to put everything back, obviously exactly where it was. I mean, let's go, for instance, to the starter motor. Now, I have this piece of wiring somewhere. Here it is. Okay, we've got the wire there. I know that goes on the starter motor, because I remember taking that off and cleaning it up. But it's got this little earthy bracket. Now, I'm thinking that it goes on there. You take that screw out, and then that sits in there like so and does back up. So then that kind of goes around there. Type stuff. It's stuff that I can do after I've done all the metal bits. So there we go. I've got everything lined up pretty much. I'm, like I say, just digesting all that stuff and seeing what little brackets are missing and all the rest of it. And it's knowing which way which order to do it in, because I don't want to put like a nice delicate carburettor on here if I've got to roll this around and do banging and screwing and all that kind of stuff. That can go on at the end. The oil pump goes in there. Now, if I remember rightly, what I might do is go back and watch some of the earlier videos, because I'm pretty sure that something like that was in there somewhere doing something to. It's a heat shield, because you've got the exhaust right here. Here's the oil pump with all the pipelines, so that goes in there somewhere, probably, or possibly that one. But you can see where I'm coming from. It's going to be a right jigsaw puzzle. I'm loving every second of it. Yeah. Whee! That's all good. So first thing to go back in is this main drive gear wheel, which is up under there. But I can't push it all the way home, because the crankshaft mechanism, cog gear, what do you call it, sits underneath this, and you can't pull this out when this is in situ. So it kind of is, it's a kind of two birds with one stone type affair there. Right, I do remember actually that springy ding ding. I do remember that goes like that in there. So those two little grooves keep the spring in situ. So I'm not completely brain dead, not yet anyway. So right, I'm going to enjoy this afternoon quite a lot. So I think first thing to do is plastic dip these little brackets. And then somewhere under there are the engine shroud covers. Oh, Oh, Mr. Beasley. That control box goes on there, like so. Alright, that's there. So if you imagine that on there, and then I think I'm right in saying that I'm missing a little bracket, I'm sure of it, because something bolts on here that the shroud that goes over bolts into. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the picture, isn't it? I really can't remember most of what I did when I took this apart. I just remember taking it apart, just in neutral, just going. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Incidentally, guys, have you seen that puzzle? New puzzle out. It's I think it's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it's completely blank. There's nothing on it. It's not even beans on it. It's blank. Why would you want to do that? Anyway, the mind boggles. Right, let's crack on. Alright, leave me to it. Oh, another little bracket. Oh, plastic dip. Right, I've just found a few more little brackets. Now I do know that that one bolts onto the side of the carburettor. I think it's there, actually. And obviously holds the fuel lines and stuff. Found that little bracket again, so there's that. And this little plate I've just found. It's quite a bizarre looking thing, isn't it? I just wondered if that went sort of like that, but then again it doesn't serve any purpose, does it? No, I think that that's something to do with the rear brake. I think, is that it? There it goes. Haha. Yeah, that goes in there. Stupid boy. Okay, and I found another little bracket, so that needs plastic coating. So does that. I thought I found another one. There it is. There's 3 that need plastic dipping. Now I'm thinking, if I've gone that far, why don't I just plastic dip most of it? That one obviously is anodised, so that's fine. That doesn't need doing. And I really can't remember. I can't remember. Giggity goo. Right, I'm waffling, aren't I? Luckily, what the hell's that? Where the hell does that go? Looks like some sort of selector, doesn't it? The way that those are stepped. E.T., you can't not do this. That's obviously the up position. I'm going to have to literally go through the whole book, looking at the pictures and seeing where the bloody hell that goes. I can't remember. That's the handbrake lock because it's a scooter, so you want to lock the brake on. Obviously rear brake actuator, rear brake pivot, springies, that goes on the footrests. We've got pins, we've got nuts. Well, luckily all this is all clean. It's one of them little things that I did. Just sat there one afternoon in a daze, just cleaning everything up, oiling it, lubing it, and all the rest of it. So put it all in one box. Oh, okay. Brain needs to go in gear, and it's getting a bit foggy. But let's do it. Let's just do it. I need to go through that book again now. So I think it's another brew on the loo, reading the book. I reckon that's half of the course. And I need to find that powder stuff so I can get dipping, don't I? I hope this isn't boring you. Right, let's crack on. Okay, well I have spent the last 30 minutes looking. See, this goes in there. It's got a little keyway on it, look, which goes into the keyway slot. So that goes in there, like so. And that transfers drive to the crankshaft via the kickshaft. But that flops around in there, doesn't it? Which isn't good. I've been looking everywhere for this. You know what it was? Underneath my stool. Yes, underneath my flipping stall. Now none of this needs oiling or greasing because that's where the belt is. It needs to be dry. Another thing I've done is I've gone round meticulously in there, beg your pardon, with my feather duster, so it's all nice and dry. So this gear has a Aero on it, which is good. Now my line of thinking is, here is the kickstart bit where the kickstart goes onto those splines there, so that goes in like so. Oops, like so. So this gear meshes with that gear like so, and this spring goes around. Let's have a look. It's a bit dark, isn't it? That spring goes around there, or does it? Where the hell does that spring go around it? I thought it went around there. Obviously. Hang on a minute. Let's get that round to there. That doesn't look right, does it? Where the hell would that go? I don't know, but that stopper there, look, is for the kickstart. Stop it going too far. So anyway, talking a load of old nonsense. So when you kick that way, I think, which fires that round, which in turn turns the crankshaft. So you would think that this needs to be sort of, I don't know, sort of like there. So then when you kick it, whoosh, you got all that throw of kick. And I can't see any markings in the housing that Aero should line up. But it makes sense to line it up with the crankshaft, doesn't it? Say yes, Paul. Yes, Paul. So then we've got a little mark on there, and we've got a little mark on there. So I'm thinking, it's just all guesswork because none of this is in the book. So I'm thinking that starts off sort of there somewhere. Just get that in. Mesh that in like so. So when you kick it, you got all that throw. That sort of makes complete sense, doesn't it? It's just, where does this flipping spring go? I can't get in there. I'm getting there very slowly, like I say. And then that cog goes on there because there's the gear which meshes with the kickstart. I mean, you could put this all together without having a kickstart in it and just leave them out, but it's there, so it's going back on. So that goes on there afterwards, and then it's just put back together. Put the variator on the front there, and the drive gear on the back there, and put the engine cover on. So I'm kind of getting there. Just need to work out now where that flipping spring goes. I tell you, how that bush fell out and went somewhere is easy to think, because it just, you know, my head's like, Right, let's put you back in your cradle, cat's cradle, because we need to get this little malarkey onto there. So let's just do that without stabbing myself. There we go, that's that. So then we'll put that in there with the keyway facing where it should. Like so. And that little bracket, look, sits in there, but actually I reckon I've put that on backwards. Wow, let's take that off and turn that round. The only reason I say that is because it now fits inside that slot a lot better. It's kind of sticking out the end. It's probably wrong, but there we go. Right, okay, so let's line that arrow up with the crank. Okay, that's good. That's spring loaded. I just guessed just to keep it meshed in, isn't it? Right, that's that. Now this can only go down a certain distance and then it stops. Is there an O-ring to go in there, or a seal? Not a seal, or a washer? Let's have a look what we got in here. No. Could that go on there? Yes, it could, but I reckon that's to do with the rear wheel. Yeah, I think so. Right, let's go with it not having a wash on it. So that's set, that's in. Kickstart. Let's line those marks up with that, like so. Oh, come on, in you get. And those marks literally line up, so that's fine. But that has to come right round. It can't, surely it can't go right round to there. Or can it? I mean, it is literally the only place it can go. Let me put a bit of tension on there and see what happens. Oh my God, I'm getting stabbed in the face now. What's going on? Okay, that's in. That's a hell of a lot to kick. Why would it be like that? There must be some sort of plate over here to stop all this spring and that bush there from springing out again. It's just too flipping dark, isn't it? I need a light source here, don't I? So you can see what's going on. Right, I'm going to wrap that up there. If there's another little clip after this, so be it. Otherwise, that's going to be the end of it for the day, because my poor little brain has had enough, to be fair. Doing it blind, eh? I might actually go indoors now, have a brew, sit down and watch one of the episodes where I take this apart and just see exactly what's going on and where. Sounds like a plan. Oh, I've just had a moment. I've just had a moment. Outside. Outside what? Yeah, I reckon that goes there. You can't see it. Anyway, right, if it's the end of it, thank you for watching. Again, thank you for your tips, your well wishes and all the rest of it. I'd like to say hi to everybody, literally everybody. I'm going to have to write a list of you guys' names down, because there are so many people I want to thank on a personal level. So there we go. We'll do it properly, eh? Might catch you in a bit, or next episode. I've done by you. Morning, people. Morning. Yes, this isn't the end of the video, because I've just gone back over the stuff that I've recorded, and it's about 26 minutes. So you're in for more stupidness. Okay, I've digested that book, not literally, over tea, and I have found out lots, and I've taken lots of snapshots of the screen on the telly and all the rest of it, and found out this little bracket is the one I need, because that goes under there like so, and then you've got the heat shield that goes on top of that, like that, to protect it from the exhaust, and the oil pump and all the rest of it. And this little bracket here, why is it not focusing properly? I'm going to have to pause it there. Bugger. Ah, that's better, easy, you muppet. Right, this little bracket here goes on there, like that, to keep that spring from twanging out, and I have got that. Right, so, guesses aside, why has that gone down there now? Oh well, perhaps it should be there, so when you kick it, then it's not engaged to start with. Of course it is easy, you flipping thickie. Right, okay, what was I going to say? Lots. Is that still going to catch that, I wonder? Cold, cold heart, I've done by you. Look in there, there's the gate. No, it's not going to catch that, so that is good. It's just a quick trial thingy. Now I do have to take out the start motor again, which is that bolt and that bolt there, as we know, and pop that back through there, because I need to get under there to get that bolt in there, and it's all a bit higgledy-piggledy, isn't it? The wiring, that wiring loom you saw minutes ago, but it was a long time ago, this piece That one there, that goes on the bottom screw there, and then bolts onto there for the feed. So that's to do as well. Yeah, and I'm pretty much here, aren't I, really? Just the gear got to go on, the variator's got to go on, the drive's got to go on, belt's got to go on, gasket, panel. Jobs are good. Right, so lots to do today. It's bright and early. Well, I say bright. I haven't been able to put my glove on yet properly because this finger, my middle finger, that doesn't work, is so swollen down here. It's like a big bruise. You can't go anywhere near it. So I'm hoping that a bit of jiggery pokery and a bit of finger blasting should loosen that little baby up, and I'm going to get my glove on properly. So protect my fingies. Okay, I need to do some plastic dipping. I know which parts need dipping. I know, but I don't know where the plastic dip powder is, so I'm going to have to start looking for that. But let's crack on with that starter motor first. And that oil pump, get it in situ, get it bolted in properly. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to find the nuts and bolts for it. There's no point in me getting it all out, whopping it in there, no nuts and bolts, so that's first. Right, go and get yourselves a brew. I've got my brew. Where is it? Oh, pants, it's outside. What a muppet! Do love this book. Unfortunately, some of the plumbing's slightly different on the earlier models, but I'll get round that, I'm sure. Right, okay. Let's crack on. I thought it, but it never ends. No, 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 no. Ow, my finger. Ow, my finger hurts. I'm gonna cry. How easy was that, E.T., you flipping plonker? Give that a bit of a clean out. No, 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 no. That's it, drop it on the floor. More haste, less speed, apparently. Don't know what that means. Outside. I've angled you around here a bit so you can see a bit easier. Oops. Okay, that's 8 to 10 Newton meters. Right, let's go. Let's go a disco. A disco here and a disco there. Where's me bum rag? There it is. Okay, Colky. I'm going to put a bit of thread lock on there, if I can find it. Where is the thread lock? Oh, you swine, you really swine, you. No, 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 no. Don't you just hate it when you get a song stuck in your head? And it just goes on and on and on. Okay. Radio. Oops, I've done a boo-boo already. Because I need to put bolts up through there to put the nuts on. So, where is oil pump? There's oil pump. One bolt's long, one bolt's short. Okay, so that's the short one. And that's the long one. That'll do for that one, madam. That won't do for that one. Let's have a rummage. Rummage, Mr. Scrummage. Now they were screws initially, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not putting a screw back in there. No way. Yeah, let's do that. because that tin plate also needs to go over the relaxor. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. Right, we're there. Nuts. Oh, nuts. Oh, hazelnuts. Oh, Cadbury take a man, they covered in chocolate. Where are the nuts? Tell you what. No, I can't put that nuts on there because it gets too hot and it'll melt. Let's do it by. We're just going to go with what was on there originally. Okay, so that's now bolted from there and there to there and there. That's those nuts that was spinning when I was trying to take it apart because I didn't understand what was going on. I don't understand what's going on. Slot that in there. Find the drive, which is there. That's cool. Where's my little bolt? There it is. Oops. That's not falling out of there, is it? Okay, now we can get the starter motor back in, but before we put it back in, which way does it go? I need to get that screw off, don't I? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Let's get that off of there. Get that off of there. Let's get that wiring loomy bit. As we know, that needs to go like so on there. We'll whack that screw back in. La la la. I used to be a werewolf, but I'm alright now. Right, that needs to go there. So we need to pull the skin back. Ooh, ooh, Mr. Peasley. Ooh, ooh. Come on. Oh, that's better. Okie dokie. Let's undo that little screw without dropping it on the floor. Okay. Let's whack that on there. Like so. Get my big belly in the way. Put the screw in. Uh-oh, dropped it on the floor. No, I haven't. Okay. Shaky, shaky, shaky. I'm on a diet, lads. I am on a diet. Well, it's not a diet. I've just cut out the sugar. So, no more sweeties for me. No more chocolate. I have had some nice granola this morning. Let's pop that over there. Does it go on that way? I don't know. We'll try that way. Oh, that went on easier, so it must be that way. Right, so that is now ready for install. Let's whack it in. Whackety whack, whackety whack, whack whack, whackety whack, whackety whack, whackety whack. Okay, where's that bolt on then? Have I just used it for? I've used it for under there, haven't I? What a plonker! I am a cider drinker. No, that's not good enough. Nor that. Let's have another rummage through me box of bits. That's not good enough. That's certainly not good enough. Great fun. Put that back up there. See, I put this Allen head bolt in there because it fits. I don't really want to sort of start going down that road of using Right, now before I go too much further, I need to put these bolts back in that held the starter motor in, but there is bracketry that goes somewhere around there, so I need to find out what bracket it is, and be where it goes. So I'm going to have to pause you there whilst I go through my little thingy of those. But I need to plastic dip them, so I'll be back as soon as. I have found the powder. Let's make it louder. Right, set this up. I have warmed this up already, just so otherwise I'll be filming for about 15 minutes. Now I've put the powder there, the granules, into a glass receptacle. I had a plastic one, that one there. And I thought, well, if I touch the bottom with it while I'm dipping it, it's going to melt through the plastic. So I've gone for a glass one, and then when I've finished with the powder, I can then pop it into the green container and seal the lid so there's no moisture getting in there. Right, should we give it a go? This is the first time I've ever tried this. I'm not even sure if this is the right way of doing it, but I'm thinking if you heat the part, the plastic will stick to it, will it not? Okay, should we give it a go? Let's turn that off and let's get into it. Okay, a little bit more on the back than he's doing. Right, well that's dipped. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Ooh, bit on the end there. Let's put a bit more on there. I think we blow it up again. And just lightly add a bit of heat to it. Without catching fire to it. And you can see I'm no expert, but I reckon that's a good shout, guys. Don't you? Well, that is jolly cool. I am really happy with that. Okay, I'm going to pause you there and I'm going to do another piece because this is fun. Right, I'm even going to do this little piece. This is the bracket that holds in the brake cable. A bit of brake cable. And if you remember, when I went to take this off, I had to actually, the bolt head sheared off and I had to flip in. Oh, nice colour. Yeah, I had to redraw that and re-tap it. So I'm hoping that, because this is right at the bottom of the engine, right at the back where all the sludge and stuff hits, because this was a mess, wasn't it, this bracket? Okay, let's give it a bit of a either over dip. Okay, let's just poke that hole back through there. Oh dear. It's a bit oogie woogie. I am happy with that. Do you know what? I could do this for a living. I like that. That's really good fun. So that should protect that little piece of metal for a while. I'm just going to hold that and pause you whilst I get the other piece. So this is flipping awesome fun. See if I can keep it in the camera this time. Look at the corrosion on there. You see how much that's started there, where the salt and all that stuff's coming. Look at that on the back. That's horrible. Starting to corrode that. Picked up my little beauty. Like I say, I've never done this before. I've not even looked on YouTube to see how to do it. I've just thought, well, make something hot enough and put it in plastic. The plastic will adhere to it. Okay, let's give that a quick go. Okay, here we go. Dippy, dippy, dippy. Dippy, dippy, dippy. That's really good, isn't it? Is it going to turn on its own, I wonder? I don't think it is it? Right, let's give it a bit of heat. Probably this part would probably be better with a hot air gun as opposed to a naked flame because of the flammability of the plasticoat granules. I don't think it will take a lot to ignite this. It's like heat shrink in reverse, isn't it? Sorry, it's going out of focus because I'm looking at what I'm doing and not at the camera. Okay. A bit more. Right. Now, flipping heck, look at this, guys. Honest to goodness, if you want to save your metal parts, that is really windy out there. It's supposed to be stormy in Scotland today, so look at that. I am so impressed with that. Right. It's just a itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot bikini. You're going to be humming that all day now, lads and lasses. That's what she wore for the first time today. Now, having done 2 or 3 pieces now, it's quite obvious that you don't really have to heat this up too much, just enough just to get things to sticky dicky. Right. Dippity doo, dippity day. I mean, how simple is that? That is so quick. It's even started to turn there. If that would have been any hotter, that would have been bloody silly, wouldn't it? Right, let's get a bit of heat on it. Dalai Lama. You know what, I'm tempted now to take all the brackets off of all my bikes and do this. Woo! Steady on. Okay, let's turn that off and have an examination. Wow. I am so impressed with that. No, I won't stop talking. Why don't I give it a rest? I've got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. It's time I'm going up the gym. This is mega fun. I like this. I shouldn't really be aiming my blowtorch here towards my Canon WD-40 type stuff, should I really? There we are. That'll do for that. So, what was that? 30 seconds? 30, 40 seconds? Something like that? Oh, this stuff is fantastic. That really is top diddly dotch. This is fantastical. Yeehaw! Fingy's still hurting, but there we go. What can you do? Obviously, I'm not using the blue part of the flame on this because it is just plastic, isn't it? And that will proper flipping knackerise it, I reckon. It doesn't seem to be ultra flammable either. You see that, it caught light and then it immediately goes out. Wow, it's got right in there, look, every nook and cranny. Totally pleased. Right, I'm going to pause that there because I've got more fun to have. Right, that's enough. That's enough tomfoolery. I've got to say, I was having way too much fun with this plastic granules. You can get these incidentally in all different colours on a well-known auction site, and I can't remember what I paid for that. It was either £10 or £13, something like that. But that is so worth it, isn't it? You can just see the results for yourselves. I've been a bit silly. I've done things that I probably shouldn't have done. Covered a spring, but I got a bit carried away. I was having a lot of fun, and yeah, I've been doing loads. What else have I done? This is a good one actually. This is quite effective, because there's my little horny horn. I've just done the bracket up there, because that was the only part of this horn that was all fungused up. Right, that's enough tomfoolery. I need to be getting on with getting on. So I need to watch. I've taken a load of photographs on that camera there, so I can now look back and see what little brackets go where on this engine, and get it together, because I am just so impatient. No, I'm not. I'm raring to go at it. Right, I'll stop you there, and we'll see. That was fun, that plastic dipping, wasn't it? Right, I was looking at this kickstart mechanism. Oh yeah, there's another piece I did here. Look, was this piece which holds the air cleaner top on. This was rusty as hell, wasn't it? I've done it on there, and then I put some silicone spray on it. But I thought, do you know what? It needs a coat of black. So anyway, that's that. Yeah, I was looking at the kickstart mechanism, which I have removed again. Here it is. And I noticed that, where are we? When that wheel is in there, like so, and then that was in there, like so, when those gears mesh together, please, thank you, it was about there. It wasn't sitting right. So only half of this half of these teeth here were meshing in with that. So I've taken it apart. I've put a bit of lithium in there and on there. Oh look, I haven't plastic coated that spring. What's going on, man? Okay, and I took this piece out here, and I removed that little silver pin, and I put a copper washer on there. Okay, because there was literally scratch marks appearing around here that weren't there before. So I've pushed it like that, put the pin back in, and there we go. Because it's spring loaded, I've lithium greased that shaft. I need to wipe that off, actually, that excess. So now when I put that back in place, like so, to about there, something like that, where that little mark is there, and then I pop this this piece back in situ where it's supposed to be, sort of about there somewhere, and then we mesh those teeth in, those gears in. Now look at that, that's proper in there where it should be. So I think I've done the right thing there. So I'm happy with that. Now I can concentrate on the rest of it, putting it back together. Right, I just thought I'd show you that little bit before I put it back together. It's so easy, isn't it, to overlook the simplest little thing like that. I don't remember there being a washer on there, but then again, I don't remember what I had for tea last night. So if in doubt, just do it. So I have, and that's good. Rightio, away we go. That needs to go around a tooth. Okie dokie. Right, I've got to crack on. Okay, really getting there now. Really stamping my authority on this engine. So we have all that mech back in there together. The springs tension, the locking plates on there. The drive gear is for the starter motor is in situ. That was pushed on with the aid of a thing. I put the old socket over the top there, over that shaft, and drove that down onto its sort of conical tapered shaft. So that sat in there. Put the variator on, and I've put that down, and now I need to torque that between 35 and 40 Newton meters, but as it stands that can't be done. I did it up with the windy gun.
until it stops sort of spinning. So it'll be interesting to see how much Newton meterage that is on there. So that's that. Rear end is all just been plonked straight on there, so that's all goody goody goody. I have cleaned both surfaces absolutely meticulously with a super duper wipe, and then finished it off with my dry fleecy sweatshirt. So that's really good. It's very grippy. I didn't want to touch it again with my gloves because I could have greasy oily bits on my fingers. Again, I've done the back there, so that's all right. That spins beautifully. Right, only one more thing left to do, and that is to pop on the flywheel bit, which drives the rear. Okay, we need the nuts. We need the nuts. Again, that's 35 to 40 Newton meters, all checked and ready. That looks to me suspiciously like a 14 mil. Where's me 14 mil? Is that it? Don't know. Yep. And it is. Right, let's whack that on there. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh. Shut up! Quality's having a go. That's tricky with one hand. Okay, well it's on there and it's tightish. So I set my attention now to this drive belt. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to brave it here with some what's that, 240 grit paper. It's drive belt grade 240 grit paper. So there you go. I'm just going to do both sides of that, so I can make sure that's as clean as it can possibly be. Then I will put it on there, between there and there, and then I will grip the belt and pull it towards me like that, squeeze it in so it literally acts as a brake for there and there, and I can use my torque wrench, which is set at 35. There's 28 and there's 42. So there we go, look, 45. Cool, right, that's all set. Right, yo, let's stick you up in the old seat of dishonestness. Sorry for spinning you around everywhere, but there we are, that's what it is. I've been carrying the weight of this world, 'cause I've only got 2 hands. Just breathe a little bit of life back into this. There's not really a lot I can do with it, to be honest, apart from just get the horrible rusty colours off of there. I have already gone over this once, but as long as I can freshen up that rubber, he says, touching it with his possibly oily, greasy gloves. Change them easy. Well, I can, because they're, well, I can, but they're indoors, so we'll do that anyhow. Okay, that's sorted, so that's all ready to go back on the bike. Okay. I don't know if there's a direction of rotation, but I'm going to put it so the writing's facing upwards, so to speak. Oh. What an absolute plonker. You're shouting at me, aren't you? I could hear you now. Put the belt on the front and then put that pulley over the pulley, then put the pulley on. Deaconshire, I say, what a plonker. As if by magic, there it is. Right, let's see if this is 35 to 40 Newton meters. Yeah, that's not happening, is it? Okay. Again, you're supposed to have a special tool, but I don't have that, do I? I'm going to do it to what I think is tight, and we'll go from there. Right, okay. Right, so that's all lovely, all back together. I have now got the generator installed, the 2 8mm bolts. I've put the flywheel on, and it makes a lovely noise.
lovely plop, 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 plop. Lovely jubbly. I'm going to get a bit of two-stroke oil in there just to keep everything happy. Right, now I need to put the engine cowling on, and then I can put the ducting on, which draws air in and blows it all around the engine. So that's next. It's a lovely motion, that is. I'm going to put quite an overdose of two-stroke oil in with the petrol when I first kick her over, and then just let it run a tank or two through it. I should have done that with the FZ really, but no, what did I do? Bean it up and down the road. Yes, stupid boy. Okay, right, let's crack on. Nearly at the end, aren't we, of the engine rebuild. It's fighting me all the way, this thing. All my stupidity is one or the other. Right, we have the carburetor on. We have all of the tubes for the automatic choke, if you like. It's all around there. It's all plumbed in properly. That's clipped in there. You got your oil feed pipe from the oil pump. There's the feed there. There's the actuator. When you throttle it, it comes on as well, doesn't it? Same as the old FZ50. There's one of my plastic brackets in there, and that's all good, isn't it? So yeah, I thought, right, do you know what, I am going to put that side cover on. Just put it on, put the gasket on, put the side cover on, and I don't know if you guys can see a problem here. You have to put this gasket on before you put the belt on. Who knew? I certainly didn't. What a freaking palaver. I don't know. If that's the worst of my worries, I'm happy bunny, really. But there we are. So, I've now got to take that belt off again, gasket on, and then put the belt back on. What a flipping pain in the backside Jesse, isn't it? Right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there because it is getting on for a little bit of time, isn't it, on the video? So yeah, thank you for looking. Next time you see it, the cover should be on, and I need to get up in the loft to get the shroud for the airflow system on the right hand side of the engine there. That's up in top loft, so I need to go and get that. I can't really go any further without that, really, and that's pretty much it. I've got the engine back together, so all's good, all's fair in love and war. Okie cocky. Well, like I say, cheers, thanks for looking. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and you've been watching Easy Restorations in his little shed of being blown away by the really strong wind. Take care, guys, I'll see you again, and yeah, big hugs to all.